This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for Friday, September 13th, 2024. I'm Marek Mazurek. There could be major economic changes coming for the towns of Rising Sun and New Haven, Indiana. The Rising Star Casino currently operates in Rising Sun, but the casino's owner, Full House Resorts, wants to move the gaming license to New Haven just outside of Fort Wayne. Ed Feigenbaum, who's the editor of Indiana Gaming Insight, said Full House moving from Indiana's smallest county to one of the largest makes a lot of economic sense.
When you had a land-based casino open in downtown Cincinnati, that essentially cut the legs out from under the Indiana side of the market and chopped our revenues by about 30% right off the top there. And the casino that was hurt the most was obviously Rising Sun.
However, the move would greatly hurt Ohio County and Rising Sun financially. In order to get approval from legislators, Feigenbaum said Full House will need to reach a hold harmless deal with Rising Sun that will see the town get either a lump sum payment or a percentage of the casino's revenues from its new location. Town officials from Rising Sun declined to speak with Inside Indiana Business, but Amy King, who's director of the Ohio County Public Library, said casino revenues have greatly helped the town over the years, and she's worried about what happens if it moves away.
So it's just really concerning because we don't want to go backwards. And not having these extra things, it just makes you fear for our future.
Rising Sun has paid the county's regional foundation $47 million over the last 3 decades. It employs almost 300 people. Republican gubernatorial nominee Mike Braun on Friday released a policy plan intended to benefit farmers and rural residents, highlighting ideas for tax relief, economic development, and more. Braun's campaign said it partnered with Hoosiers for Opportunity, Prosperity, and Enterprise, a Terre Haute-based nonprofit, to develop the proposals. To ease farmers' financial pain, Hope promised capping annual increases in farm property tax bills to 3% and tweaking the base rate formula used to value agricultural land. The organization also suggested creating a tax-advantaged farm savings account and a tax credit for young and beginning farmers. Braun's plan would also direct the IEDC to attract private investments into rural businesses and communities. It would also impose new transparency measures on the IEDC. The quasi-public agency would have to analyze how its investments impact utility costs and resource availability and mitigate any negative impacts. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana, your bold future starts here. IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to the Engage Indiana series, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. With an unrelenting focus on growing Indiana's economy, our Engage Indiana events take place in every region of the state. Discover when we'll be in your area at ibj.com/engage.
Indianapolis-based venture studio High Alpha was the lead investor in a $9 million funding round for Nostra AI, a New York City-based retail technology startup with an Indiana connection. The funding round closed April 15th, but was not publicly announced until this week. In connection with the investment, High Alpha co-founder and partner Christian Anderson has joined Nostra's board of directors. Nostra's founder and CEO is Arthur Root, who launched Nostra in 2020 when he was a student at Indiana University. Nostra software helps consumer brands speed up their websites, giving online shoppers a better experience and making it less likely they will abandon their online shopping carts. A Holland, Michigan-based recycling company is making a series of acquisitions in Michiana that include longtime Elkhart scrap metal dealer Sam Weiner & Co. Padnos this week announced the acquisition of Sam Weiner, as well as Howe Auto Sales in Bay City, Michigan, and Grandpa's Garage in Traverse City, Michigan. A representative from Padnos declined to say what the price of the acquisitions were. The company did say Sam Weiner & Co. will continue to do business as Padnos Elkhart, while the other 2 locations will similarly change their names. Padnos has 30 locations in Michigan and Indiana and has over 900 employees. Former Eli Lilly and Company CEO John Lechleiter and his wife Sarah are donating $6 million to Indiana University Health and the IU School of Medicine to further spur innovation in cardiovascular research. The donation will help establish a new faculty chair in cardiovascular innovation, support improvements to patient care and physician training, and fund research at the university's Cardiovascular Institute. The amount is the largest single philanthropic gift ever shared by the health system and the medical school. The gift comes 5 months after the Lecklighters donated $8 million to Riley Children's Foundation in Indianapolis. Auto dealership leader Ryan Rohrman is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast hosted by Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Marek Mazurek for Inside Indiana Business Radio On Demand.